For as long as I can remember, he was always by my side, my friend, my brother not by blood, but by spirit. We grew up together, discovering the world step by step, like two birds hatched from the same nest. Everything that was dear to me was dear to him. If joy overflowed my heart, he would laugh with me, as though he had found happiness in the same spring. And when a shadow fell upon my soul, he was the first to reach out, not out of pity, but out of that silent understanding that binds true friends who need no words. We were different, yet not divided. I was quiet, thoughtful, inclined to reflection. He was fiery, alive, driven by a thirst for action and victory. He wanted to climb, to conquer, to prove his worth. I sought meaning in people, in deeds, in myself. Perhaps it was this difference that gave our friendship strength. We balanced one another, like day balances night. Our days flowed gently, like a stream gliding between stones. We made plans, dreamed of the future, swore that nothing would ever part us. It seemed nothing could break the bond between us. Yet fate is a strange weaver. It interlaces bright and dark threads into a pattern we seldom understand. The first change in him appeared in his eyes, a new, cold gleam. He began to speak often of recognition, of success, of those who had made themselves. The world belongs to those who take, not those who wait, he told me one day. And if, by taking, you lose yourself? I asked. He smiled. What matters is reaching the summit. Once you're there, you can decide who to be. I said nothing. Everyone chooses their own road. But already I felt a crack in our bond, faint, but cold. We grew older. Responsibilities came, ambitions awoke. He spoke ever more of great opportunities. I spoke of quiet joy in work. He hurried, I pondered. He thirsted for glory, I sought truth. Though we still walked side by side, our paths had begun to drift apart, like two roads. One climbing toward the mountains, the other winding toward the river. One day, he came to me, radiant, breathless. I have a chance, he exclaimed. A great deal, a new venture, a new life. I smiled. Am glad for you. But why do I see doubt in your eyes? He turned away. There's one condition. He'll have to leave behind all past ties. Anything that might hold me back. He didn't say my name, but I understood. I asked quietly, so am a burden now. He hesitated. No, you're my friend. But the path to the top demands sacrifice. Later, when everything is in place, it'll return. We'll be together again, stronger, successful. Isn't that what we dreamed of? I didn't answer, for I knew. When a man justifies betrayal by the promise of a brighter future, his choice is already made. He left. I stayed. The world didn't crumble, but it grew colder. After he left, I didn't know what I felt. Not anger, not bitterness, emptiness. As if someone had torn out part of my heart, leaving a hollow ache. But life doesn't wait while you heal. It calls you forward, and if you don't walk, you turn to stone. So I threw myself into work, into study, into thought. I searched for meaning, not in outward success, but in the journey itself. I learned that wealth is not always counted in coins. There is wealth of the mind, of the heart, of the spirit, and no one can take it unless you give it away. Meanwhile, my former friend rose higher and higher. His name was on everyone's lips. People praised him, envied him. They said he was clever, ambitious, determined. I heard, but I did not seek him out. Let him walk his road, I would walk mine. Each of us bears his own burden. Time passed. Then, by chance, I learned the truth. A man, not knowing who I was, told me, once he cheated his partner. They say the deal was dishonest. He profited, the other lost. And who was the partner? I asked. Don't know. But rumor says he was someone close. I listened in silence. The words fell like drops of cold rain. And then all became clear. The deal that opened his way was sealed with betrayal. My name, once dear to him, had become his bargaining chip. I stepped outside. The wind was cold, yet I did not feel it. Everything within me was numb. But I sought no vengeance. Why should I? Betrayal is a poison, but a poison that kills first the one who drinks it. I went on with my life, slowly, steadily. No glitter, no applause, but every step was honest. I built without destroying, learned without boasting, helped without demanding. And each day I felt my soul grow stronger. The world rewards those who can wait. In time, What he had chased came to me, success. Not sudden, like a flash, but ripened, like fruit from a long-tended tree. People began to seek my counsel, to trust my word. But I did not grow proud. I knew the cost of everything. Of him, I heard less and less. His name still traveled, but no longer with admiration, rather with caution. People began to see the shadows behind the shine. So the years pass, and each reaps what he has sown. Many years went by. Much water flowed under the bridge. I had nearly forgotten the old pain. Time is a gentle healer. It does not erase memory, but softens its sting. One evening, I sat by the window when the door creaked softly. He entered. At first, I did not recognize him. His face was gaunt, his eyes dim, his shoulders bowed. Gone was the fire that once lit his path, only ashes remained. He paused at the threshold. "May I come in?" I nodded. He stepped closer, eyes lowered. "It took me long to find the courage," he said. "I didn't know if I had the right." We were silent. Between us stood years, mistakes, silence. "I've lost so much," he said at last. "Everything I had, everything I reached for, gone. The wealth, the fame, the friends. I thought I stood at the summit, but it was the edge. The deal that began it all led to my fall. Those who walked beside me turned away." He lifted his eyes. "But worst of all, I lost myself. And you." I looked at him. Before me stood not an enemy, not a stranger, but a man who had lost his way. "Why have you come?" I asked. "Not for forgiveness. I know forgiveness is not begged, it's earned. I came to tell you, you were right. Strength is in taking, it's in never selling your soul." Silence settled between us. "At last," I said, "each must walk his own path. You've walked yours. What matters is that you understand." He bowed his head. "Is it too late?" "It is never too late to return to yourself," I said. "As long as a man breathes, he can begin anew." He looked at me with gratitude, the kind that needs no words. Then he rose, bowed quietly, and left. I never saw him again. But that day, I understood. Even those who betray can become witnesses to truth. And forgiveness, it is not weakness, but the strength that restores peace to the soul. After he left, I reflected long. Life is a strange book. Some chapters are bright, others dark, yet each is needed. Without them, the story is incomplete. I realized one must not curse the betrayer. Sometimes betrayal reveals who we truly are. Had he not left, perhaps I'd never have found my own path. His treachery was a mirror in which I saw my own strength. In every life comes a moment of choice. Take the short road to glory, or the long road to truth. He chose the first, and lost himself. I chose the second, and gained more than I ever dreamed. Over the years I learned that all returns. He who sows deceit reaps loneliness. He who sows kindness reaps respect. It is neither punishment nor reward, but balance. Thus is the world. Each man receives what he has given. At times, walking the streets, I caught people's glances. Some knew me as a man of success, others as a counselor, others still as one whose word could be trusted. Yet few knew the price of this calm. Behind every triumph lay years of doubt, behind every smile, the scar left by a friend's betrayal. Still, I bore no malice. I had learned, resentment is an anchor. It holds you to the past, keeps you from moving. In forgiving, I became free, and one day I heard he was gone. He had departed quietly, without fame or honor. They said that near the end, he spoke often of friendship, of faith, of how betrayal is the heaviest burden. I closed my eyes and wished him peace, for every soul deserves a final pardon, not because it is innocent, but because it has understood. Now, looking back over the years, I see clearly, nothing comes without cost. Every choice leaves a mark, and these marks form our destiny. My friend sought the summit, not seeing he stepped on others' shoulders. He believed strength lay in conquering men, not mastering himself. He chased the glitter, not the light, forgetting that true light shines from within. I, in losing a friend, found my way. In losing support, I gained resolve. In losing illusions, I discovered truth. And the truth is simple. Friendship is not a bridge to profit, but a temple of trust. Betrayal is not a road to success, but a stairway downward. And he who walks alone with a clean heart travels farther than he who runs over others. Thus ended the tale of two friends, one soul divided by fate. One chose the quick path to the peak, and fell. The other walked long, and arrived, still a man. And if ever you stand before a choice between friendship and gain, truth and glitter, remember their path. For a summit without conscience is but a cliff, and the road of goodness, a home you can always return to.